In this video we will share the scariest haunting witch story, the Bell Witch. The strange tale of the Tennessee Bell Witch haunting could be the most well-known ghost tale in the country. The plot centers in and around the John Bell property, close to Adams, Tennessee, a town northwest of Nashville that is located just south of the Kentucky border. The Bell family and guests were allegedly tormented by an unexplained string of paranormal occurrences beginning in 1817. Let's get into it. The haunting started when John Bell, who had moved to the area in 1804, allegedly saw a bizarre animal that resembled a dog with a rabbit's head. It survived his attempts to kill it. The Bell home then descended into complete mayhem. The traditional account of the haunting was succinctly stated in the 1913 book A History of Tennessee and Tennesseans. In 1817, the family perceived or heard strange pounding sounds on the house's walls at night. Later, problems started to occur within the home, including sounds of dogs fighting, chains dragging across the floor, and rats chewing on the bedposts. The noise would stop in the lit room as soon as a candle was lit. To examine the problem, but the daughter in an unlit room would scream in terror due to similar noises there. The haunting appeared to concentrate on John Bell and his then teenage daughter Elizabeth, also known as Betsy. The freakiest thing is what this witch was able to do. It would attack by mostly staying invisible, but it would also speak to them. It could affect the physical environment, like knock lamps down, throw books or objects, open and close doors, even lock them with you inside. And worst of all, it could shapeshift. According to some legends, the ghost was also clairvoyant and had superhuman speed when traveling large distances, and that it could be in multiple locations at once. That doesn't sound like your typical ghost to me. It could have been a poltergeist, or even a demon. But legend has us believe it was a supernatural entity of a witch. What do you think? This story is definitely one to share with your friends, at night, when they're alone. Are you ready to dive even deeper into the story? Let's continue. In his book written by Martin V. Ingram, An Authenticated History of the Bell Witch, published that it was a poltergeist, and its name was Kate, after the entity claimed at one point to be old Kate Bat's witch. It kept responding positively to the name. Betsy, the youngest daughter of the Bells, and her father were the focus of the physical activity, and Kate voiced special annoyance when Betsy became engaged to a local man named Joshua Gardner. When John Bell saw an apparition that resembled a dog, Bell shot at the animal, but it vanished. Drew Bell, John's son, approached an amazing-sized bird that flew off and was perched on a fence. The daughter Betsy noticed a young woman dangling from an oak tree branch while wearing a green outfit. The Bell home became the center of activity as knocking could be heard on the walls and door. The family heard the noises of phantom dogs fighting, chewing on the beds, and chains moving across the floor. John Bell's mouth started to get paralyzed at this time. As more sheets were ripped from beds while the kids slept, the phenomenon intensified. Soon the thing started pulling the kids' hair and scratching them, focusing especially on Betsy, who was slapped, squeezed, and impaled with pins. James Johnston, a friend of the family, was consulted by the Bells. Johnston was awakened that night by the same phenomenon. After leaving the Bell house for the evening, he informed John Bell that morning that it was a spirit, just like in the Bible. as soon as people heard about the haunting. Some of them traveled far distances to visit the witch. When the apparition started speaking aloud, the question, "Who are you and what do you want?" was posed. "I am a spirit. I was once extremely joyful but have been disturbed," the voice responded feebly. The spirit gave many justifications for its appearance, attributing its beginning to the destruction of a Native American burial mound on the land, and sending Drew Bell and Bennett Porter on a fruitless quest for hidden treasure. As whole conversations began to develop, the spirit simultaneously delivered two sermons delivered 13 miles apart, word for word. How was this possible? A poltergeist? Or the real spirit of a once powerful witch? Let's go over more of what happened. This being was familiar with biblical text and seemed to enjoy debates over religion. Another source of entertainment was the witch's chatter about goings-on in neighboring homes. She would occasionally appear and then disappear for a moment to visit homes after an inquiry. What this entity does later will boggle your mind. Sometimes the spirit showed some generosity and kindness, especially to John Bell's wife Lucy, who was described as the most perfect woman to walk the world. The witch showed John Bell Jr. some respect by giving Lucy fresh fruit and singing hymns to her. According to several stories, Andrew Jackson was attracted by the tale during his time in the military, and his soldiers were scared to return home after traveling to investigate. According to a separate oral story preserved in the area of Panola County, Mississippi, the witch was the vengeful overseer of John Bell, who was murdered in North Carolina. According to this story, the main character, Mary, dies as a result of the spirit's love for her. This entity was said to possess magical abilities that have been related to jinn in folklore. In the end, it resulted in the death of John Bell, but not the rest of his family, who the entity once showed kindness to. What do you think this could have been? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the most amazingly horrifying stories.